Hey there! Why is he wearing that strange hat? Well, because today is a strange day, because I'm going to do something that I thought I would never do. I am going to review a ballpoint pen. I'm okay, really. Yeah, ballpoint pen. Why? Well, because I saw it and I thought I had to have it, because it's a really nifty, silly thing. So I thought if I would wear a strange hat, then people would think I've just gone crazy for a day, you know? So, here we go. It's an interesting pen. Cleo Skribent is the brand. I think it's German. And the thing is called the Messograf. Now, what's so fascinating about the Messograf? Well, let me show you. Out of that cardboard box just covers up a nice plastic box. You can't really see what's in there because the manual is in the way. This pen actually comes with a manual. Now, why would a ballpoint pen come with a manual? Well, because it's a very special ballpoint pen. If I hold it like this, it will look like a, well, maybe a fancy metal pen, but that's it. But the really interesting part is what I'm covering up with my fingers right now. Because here we have a caliper gauge. It's useless, it's a gadget, but I just had to have it. I actually never use caliper gauges, but it's so cool, I had to have it. Okay, so it's a very simple pen, right? You push it and then a little tip comes out there. It writes pretty smoothly. I have to admit it's a very nice ballpoint pen. Okay, so we have a caliper gauge and we have two measures. We have centimeters and inches. So no matter whether you use the metric or the other system, you can just use it. So you want to know the how thick something is, you know, you can just put it in your caliper gauge and you can read it. So apparently my Jinhao 159 has a diameter of 12 millimeters. Well, yeah, I'm willing to believe that. Okay, so you can just use that. And then there's some other nifty tricks. There is also on the back a sort of table. I'm sure I can't really show you that. My camera is not going to pick that up, I think. You can see there's some lettering etched in there. Well, there's a table with bores. So I had to pick up the manual. I'm not an expert at this. So it says, see, for example, figure 2, but I won't show you that. Push the movable slider to number 8 and read 6.8 beside it est. A thread of M8 has a boring of 6.8 millimeters. So you can just operate this slide and put it somewhere on this table, and then I see that a screw with a bore of 16 has a, what do they call it? Oh, a screw with a thread of 16 apparently has a bore of 14. I have no idea what this means. I'm not a technical person, but I guess it could be pretty useful if you work with this kind of stuff. Okay, then it has something which I do kind of like, which is all the way in the bottom here, which is a Profiltiefe. So it is a tire tread gauge, which is useful. You can just put this on the tire of your car. You slide down the clip will slide into the profile of your tire, and then you can just read it off at this little table what the profile of your tires is. Now, I'm sorry, I just had to have it. It would have been awesome if this was a fountain pen. It's not. Well, who cares? Gadget, novelty item. But if you're a metallurgist or you work with a lot of screws or whatever, I guess this could be a pretty useful option actually. Nice and decent, it's metal, it's not as heavy as some of my fountain pens, but it's a decent pen. I like it. So I'll just show you, you can actually unscrew this, and then I think hopefully out comes the, there we go, the cartridge, pretty big, I'd never heard of this brand, Cleo Skribent, but you know, everything about the pen is smooth. Pushing the button is really smooth. It writes smoothly. This thing moves smoothly. It's a cool pen. So I show you how it writes just for fun, and that's it. Forgive me for reviewing a ballpoint pen, but as you can see, I've sort of missed it today. And that's it. So I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, writing with the Cleo Skribent Messograf. You can see it's nice and reflective. It operates smoothly. Maybe I can actually show you this stuff a little bit better here than with my webcam. So here we have the rulers with millimeters, centimeters, and inches to be used with the caliper gauge. Here we have that tire profile gauge, which you can use by putting this in your tire, then pushing the clip into the tire profile and just, you know, reading off the amount of profile. Here we have this other thing for the screw threads, which you can just read off by aligning this thing with one of the cells at the table. And you know, that's pretty much it. So let's do some writing. So first of all, this pen writes by itself. I'm now just holding it between my thumb and index finger, not applying a single bit of pressure, and yet it writes. For a ballpoint pen, that is no mean feat. So, I mean, really, the pen is clearly decently constructed, and the cartridge in it's really good. So, some writing. Yeah, it's not a fountain pen, but it's not that bad either. One thing I don't particularly like about the pen, I didn't mention that in the talk part of this review, is the shape when holding it to write. You see you've got this sort of triangular thing going on here, then it's flat on these ends, and then you got another triangular thing here. The problem is, no matter how I hold it, I can't seem to align it. If I put this flat facet on my finger here, then I cannot really put my thumb and index finger in such a manner that I can actually position the pen correctly. If I hold it like this, with the flat end on my finger, then it's a little bit better, but it's still not ideal. So I would have enjoyed this to be more rounded off, but of course, then you would lose quite a bit for the caliper gauge, so I completely see the problem, but it's, yeah, for me that's not ideal. Okay, well, if you do some fast writing, no problem at all, no skipping, but of course it's not a fountain pen, so that was to be expected. Line variation, well, there is none. It's not a fountain pen nib, it's just a ballpoint tip, so you can't really expect that. With a bit more pressure it will open up a bit more, but that's it. So there's no real line variation there. Okay, as you can see, the cartridge is black, that's what came with it, and that's pretty much it. So it's not bad, and it's pretty smooth. So this is a pen I put in the inside pocket of my coat, so that I always have a pen with me, and it's also a nice, you know, conversation piece because of the gauge and all the other stuff on there. So that's it. Fascinating pen if you enjoy ballpoint pens, and if not, then it's still nice because it's a nice novelty thing. So there you go. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.